So the Overwatch Spotlight event is tomorrow, and changes in the air. So for those of you who don't know me, which is probably a substantial amount, I am a massive Overwatch fan, and I like the game a lot too. I just wanted to get my thoughts out before the Spotlight event, so let's get started. With the release of Vendetta, we've been seeing Blizzard focus a lot more on the story, which is a wonderful thing. But with that, there has been some speculation that Doomfist is straight up gonna die. Honestly, I don't see a problem with that.
You need to leave!
Now, before the pitchforks come out, I was recently reminded through watching a YouTube video by the creator of 1000 Dumplings about how NetherRealm Studios has killed off main characters in the story while still having them playable. And I think if Blizzard goes in that direction, I truly don't see an issue with it. Sure, there are downsides to that, and I know if one of my mains got killed off in the story, I would be pretty upset. But a large part in why I play the characters I do is because of their gameplay. But I'm also really invested in the story, so quickly I want to go over the story ramifications of Vendetta taking over Talon. So for those of you who don't know the Overwatch story, and for some reason clicked on this video, let me break it down for you, Mark. I'm keeping that. So sometime in the future, not all that far off from current year, humans made these robots called Omnics, and they eventually got into conflict amongst each other, which was a war, which was called the Omnic Crisis. When one of the Omnics named Aurora died, she passed on sentience to all her fellow Omnics. So what we're playing now in Overwatch takes place after the Omnic Crisis. Human-Omnic relations are still a bit shaky, but honestly things have for the most part chilled out over the years. We currently have two major factions that are active. Looking at you, Ramatra. Overwatch and Talon. Overwatch are the good guys and Talon are the bad guys. That's just like a brief summary of the story so far. So now with the newest character, Vendetta, she has beef with both Overwatch and Talon, but she's looking to take over Talon because her dad was a major figurehead of the organization until he got clapped by Overwatch. But notably, 2 of the 4 people that took place in his assassination are major players in Talon. I can see Vendetta taking over Talon to try to get all the major players in her father's death into one spot to just wipe them all out. If we look at one of the more recent motion comics with Vendetta, we can see that she has a direct path to controlling Moira. That's one down. I can see Reaper defecting from Talon if Doomfist is gone, but I can also kinda see him staying so that Moira can still treat him if need be. But either way, he's on her hit list, so if he stays, he's in the palm of her hand. If he leaves, they're already enemies, and Talon has great resources, so that's kinda 2 down. Cassidy and Genji are still with Overwatch, but Overwatch and Talon already have beef, so she might just wage war on them. So that's all 4 gone. So Vendetta's been making big power moves. She has essentially a way to get all 4. But I mentioned Reaper's defection, and I think other members of Talon could turn into enemies of Talon. Sigma and Sombra are, for the most part, a package deal, with Sombra kind of being the leader. So if Sombra stays in Talon to continue working the conspiracy she's trying to figure out, that's a whole other plotline I didn't go over in the summary, but there's no need to worry about that. That's not relevant right now. Anyway, if Sombra stays, Sigma's probably staying. Widowmaker has to stay because Vendetta knows how to control her. That was revealed in the motion comic as well. Manga has formed a tight bond with Doomfist. They kind of have that bros rivalry thing going on, you know, who's stronger. So I can see him leaving, and anyone else I didn't mention, I have really no idea about. But Vendetta's potential takeover can have a lot of impact on the story, and I'm really excited to see what they do with that. So if we're putting a Akande on ice, then so be it. Revenge is a dish best served cold, as they say. Or I guess in this case it would be a Vendetta, but that doesn't really work as a thing. Blizzard, if you are going to do that though, don't you think the best way to do it would be with some presentation? And that's why we need more cinematics. For the love of God, please, I'm begging you. Sure, we have the little motion comics read out by the voice actors, and that's wonderful, but it's been so long since we've had a 3D animated cinematic. Well, I guess not really, since every new hero has been getting one for the release. But where are the cinematics that just flesh out the story? Also, you can add the cinematics to the story tab. Even if it's just like a YouTube hyperlink, that would be neat. While we're on the topic of bringing things back, PvE doesn't have to be completely dead. Now I know Blizzard wants to make money and that's why they sold the missions pack, and people like me who are really invested in the video game bought it, but most of the player base misses events like Storm Rising, and you have an entire missions tab in the main menu. Why don't we just shove those in there? Like, just put the story mode events we've had in the past in there, you know, for free. It's content that's already done and some of the player base has already played it, so I don't think you'd be losing much just shoving them in there. And probably like the only work you would have to do on it is just add AI partners for people who don't really have anyone to play those with. And you already have that AI coded into the story missions, so just like kind of transfer that if you can. I don't know, I'm not a game dev. I understand you still want to make money, so we could put out new limited time events, and then once their time is up, maybe put a way for players to unlock them in the battle pass. But like I said, I don't know, I'm not a game designer, but it seems like a win-win. Overwatch players get more Overwatch, the story gets progressed, and Blizzard gets to make money off it. The only thing that would like cost resources here is making the new events, but I don't think that's a very hard task. I don't know, but it seems like it would be simple enough. Now I'm just going to list a few other things I hope get revealed at the Spotlight event. As a K-pop fan, I want LE SSERAFIM Collab 3. I don't know who at Blizzard's office is a fellow Fear Not, but thank you for getting us the LE SSERAFIM collabs we've had. I just want another one, please. I'd also like to see other collabs return or get a second wave. I think it would be great cross-promotion to do another Street Fighter collab when the movie gets released. And if Blizzard and Capcom want to shake hands again, maybe we can get a Devil May Cry collab? I don't know, I'm just spitballing ideas here, but I just like to see two of my favorite things kind of mesh into one, if that makes sense. We have so many potential new heroes that can be added. It's basically confirmed that Anlan, that's Wu Yang's sister, is going to get added to the game. They reintroduced Emery into the story, and I've been seeing people talk about Maximilian getting added, which would be really neat. We need more Omnics in the game. As someone who plays a lot of tank, I am upset we didn't get a tank hero last year, so I'm hoping for a good one this year, and I'm hoping they get shown off at the Spotlight event, because I want the tank hero first. I don't know, maybe it's Mama Hong's time to shine. The one thing I don't really want to get revealed at the Spotlight is a major shift to the core gameplay. I think we've had enough changes with perks last year, maybe save a big core gameplay change for next year. I know people say they've been testing things with their Halloween events and random side modes that they add, and I hope that's true, but I also hope they're saving it and refining it, tweaking it, just make it the best possible Overwatch experience, and to not change the game so much in such a quick span of time. Although more maps is something that we desperately need. Core game mode maps, not stadium maps. I heard something a while ago about Horizon Lunar Colony being reworked and reintroduced in the core game, and I'm so down for that. There's so many interesting places around the world that can be added, and there's so many places in the Overwatch story that can be added. I'm not tired of the maps that we have currently, but it feels like I haven't seen anything new in a while. So that's pretty much everything I wanted to talk about before the Spotlight event. I'm really excited to see what Blizzard has in store for us in 2026, and I hope that Overwatch has an amazing future ahead of it. Thank you all for watching, whatever time of day it is for you. Have a wonderful one of those. I love and appreciate every single one of y'all, and I'll see y'all next time. Please, Blizzard, please add Dragon Ball. I want Dragon Ball.